the Daily Graphic. So, on the front page of the Daily Graphic, we have this headline here. It says here, Akufo-Addo resurrects in Nkrumah. It's a very sensational headline. How has Akufo-Addo resurrected in Nkrumah? Well, he's done so by renovating to the tune, I think, of about $3.5 million thereabouts. A renovated memorial park. It's a beautiful, beautiful edifice. And to be very honest with you, I am so impressed with this. I'm really, really, really impressed with this. I didn't know, Chris, I don't know if you've seen the pictures.
Yes, I saw the pictures 2 days ago. It's beautiful.
I just love what we've done with it. And you see, let me just interject here at this point that we need to be a people that appreciate our leaders.
True.
You see, especially the past leaders. Because if you go to a country like America, for example, they memorialize everything.
True. Everybody's still talking about George Washington.
You know, and there's monuments.
Yeah.
Do you see the thing? There's libraries, there's monuments, and it's done even when they are alive. Do you get it? So it's not like an afterthought. It's done deliberately for them whilst they are alive. So I love what they've done here. So there's a presidential library. There's a presidential library that has been set up for them at the same place.
Right, right.
You know, so it's beautiful. I like the whole thing. And we need to do that for all our past presidents. We need to do that for President Hillary Mann, for all the past presidents. Everybody needs one. All right. So AG decries public commentary on court cases. We have 13 regions to take drugs against river blindness and elephantiasis, and Judge Kwesi sworn in as MP. So those are the headlines on the front page of the Daily Graphic.
All right, so on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, we have President inaugurates new Nkrumah Mausoleum, $3.5 million funded redeveloped park equipped with facilities. Minority serves notice to boycott parliamentary proceedings in solidarity with colleagues facing criminal persecution. Government owes pension schemes 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. Finance Minister reveals. And lastly, we have here AG cautions public against prejudicing criminal persecution.
All right. The Chronicle has these headlines. It says here, I will pay all MPP exec salaries. I insist. Alan Cash. Interesting one there. Akoto, its MPP needs a strong and united front to win 2024. Now, that's Dr. Afri Akoto speaking. We have Ghana Gas CEO woos stakeholders to new markets, and NDC MPs plot to boycott Parliament. Akufo-Addo refurbishes Nkrumah Memorial Park, and the scripture for today on the front page of the Chronicle, it says here, Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Hey.
I like what you
No, it's okay. Let's leave it there. It's a scripture. That's the word
right.
of the Lord.
So on the Daily Guide, we have Nana opens new Kwame Nkrumah Park. Kafaba witch killers jailed 24 years. Minority blackmails government. Eba Saga, OSP, contacts Interpol UK over Mahama. Amewu roots for Allen. And that's what we have here for the Daily Guide.
All right. So I have the Finder next, and it says here, magnificent Nkrumah Park opens. I think the Finder has probably the most beautiful pictures of the lot. You should see it. It's gorgeous. Look at it. Look at it.
Well, yeah, just beautiful. Like we saw on the internet. Yeah.
So it says here, projected to attract over 1 million tourists each year. Okay, so that's
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they do hit those numbers, that would be pretty amazing. You know, it's always been one of the points of attraction for tourists, even in its old state.
Yes.
You know, and to see what they've done with it now, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. All right, so that's the only headline actually on the front page of the Finder.
All right, so on the Republic Press, Brian silences Mahama's boys. reveal how NDC misused $6 million of Abetifi Hospital cash on research. AG rubbishes Domahine's plea. And Boga MP takes another oath. Akufo-Addo commissioned redeveloped Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. And on the central region, Malan jailed 6 months for defiling 6-year-old. And on the eastern region, latter chiefs threatened them more over bad roads. And that's what we have for the Republic Press.
Now I have the new publisher, and it says here, Nkrumah's family falls in love with Akufo-Addo over the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. We have MPAs shut down 16 illegal fuel stations in the Upper East region. And then we have NDC MPs to boycott Parliament on days Kwesen goes to court. And so those are the headlines on the front page of the new publisher.
All right, so headlines on the front page of the Ghanaian publisher. Nana unveils refurbished Nkrumah Memorial Park. AG cautions against foul comments. MCE brands Nazgrat rubble rousers. We can't go to 2024 divided, and that's by Afriye Akoto. And Mahama storms Parliament for Kwesen swearing in.
All right. So I have my next paper here, and I'm just loving the photos that they've taken of the Memorial Park and all that, you know. Yeah. The new publisher has a picture of Kwame Nkrumah's Cadillac in the shot there. Yeah. Anyway, so the Informer is my next paper. It says, drop Jane Nana and lose 2024. NDC Women's Group bare teeth at Mahama. Yeah. We have Volta Region Water Project on course. OSP half-year report. BCU others not home and dry. SP to effect further action. We have MPP presidential primaries. Baumia urges unity. Now, Ablekuma bullion van attack. 2 nabbed, manhunt for others. This is coming from the police. And historic July as Akufo-Addo honors Nkrumah and Mills. So it looks like, I don't know if what it is suggesting is that he's doing the same thing for
Mills,
former President
Mills.
I hope so, because you know there's some edifice and a library that was put up for Mills, but it was pretty much defunct. It was left to rot, you know. So I hope they really open it up and it becomes a part of the tourist attraction of the central region, because it's close to the Cape Coast Castle. You know, so it's an ideal location to sort of attract tourists to say, here's a presidential library, and then here's the castle. So when you visit, you can also visit. I think it makes sense to just open it and make it functional. Yeah.
So on the Herald paper, we have ACEP indicts ECG over poor accounting. Judge shopping. Attorney General now heads to Parliament. Once judges stopped from exercising discretion. Government induces car power with $50 million to betray IPPs. Controversial letter leaked. 3 women accuse Ghana's National Cathedral architect of sexual misconduct. Okay.
Yeah, I think that story was on the Financial Times, actually. That's when it first came out. All right, so I have the BNFT here. It says, President opens a $3 million redeveloped Nkrumah Memorial Park. We have GSE market cap surges to an all-time high in 1H23. Okay, and it goes on to say here, taxes choking MSMEs, and we have MPA shuts down 16 illegal Gao fuel stations in the Upper East region. You know these local type filling stations, yeah. A lot of them use another. They mix the fuel, and all of that. So it's quite dangerous, and it's good that they are clamping down on them. So that's it for the BNFT.
All right, so on the custodian, Ghana Gas goes big on energy transition. The 2 faces of natural justice. Ex parte Dugbaji in retrospect. Akufo-Addo guards Nkrumah's legacy. MCE condemns rogues in Akuapem South. And that's what we have for the custodian paper. And that's actually my last paper.
Okay. Let's go to citinewsroom.com and take a look at some of our online stories that we have for you. And we have food suppliers spend night at premises of National Food Buffer Stock. I think I'm going to read that story for you. It's quite an interesting read to see what's been happening, because for 2 years plus, people haven't received any money, even though they've invested and they've cooked and they've provided food. So members of the National Food Suppliers Association spent the night at the premises of the National Food Buffer Stock Company on July 4th to press home their demand for payment of their over 2 years arrears for food supplies made to various schools. Now, the suppliers, who had come from different parts of Ghana, besieged the premises of NAFCO on Tuesday in an attempt to drum home their demands, but their efforts were unsuccessful. At 10 p.m. on July 4th, a Citi News crew visited NAFCO premises and saw the suppliers lying on the floor as a sign of protest. Now, a spokesman for the NAFCO, Kweku Amedume, reiterated that the members of the group will continue their picketing on July 5th. He called on the government to pay their arrears as they are being chased away by their creditors from their homes. According to him, the situation has become a serious national security issue that requires immediate attention. We no longer have peace in our homes. Our homes have been taken over by our creditors, and we seem to have found a place here, that is at the Buffer Stock Company. As you can see, most of them are sleeping like they've never slept before. This shows a kind of trauma that they're going through in their own beds. We are only appealing to the government. It is not our intention to embarrass the government in power. However, this is a serious national security issue because it threatens their very existence, the essence of their being. That is why we are appealing to the government. The government should turn its attention to these people. They're going through a lot. And for over 2 years, the painful thing is that when the government got the money, NAFCO decided to work with a different set of people. We started free SHS with the government, and when the government didn't have, that's when the government didn't have a penny. He said the government has failed on several occasions to pay their dues. All right, so they can go there. There's more in that story as well. So citinewsroom.com is where you should go for all your credible news updates. And Citi Business News for your business stories. We also have sports on Citi, sports online, and we have Ghana Weekend for your entertainment news. And we'll take a quick break. Sports review is up next. Sports. All right, so now let's get into some sports news, and we have some women's football news. Now, the Ghana Football Association launched the women's football strategy in Accra on Tuesday. Now, the launch, which was attended by stakeholders in the women's football ecosystem, took place at the Swiss Spirits Elisa Hotel in Accra. Now, in attendance was the president of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Edwin Simeon Okreku, and the vice president, Mark Addo. Now, the strategy was facilitated by the Technical Directorate of the Ghana Football Association, led by the Technical Director, Bernard Lippert. Now, the Director of Coach Education, Professor Joseph Kwame Minta, and the Head of Women's Football Desk, Amma Brobe Williams. Now, the strategy is under 6 pillars of the women's football ecosystem, including grassroots football development, talent identification, marketing and sponsorship, national teams enhancement, league development, and education. So that's it for the women's football, and hopefully this turns out to become something that puts our women's football right up there in the on the global scene. We have some transfer news. Mason Mount has told Chelsea fans to move to Manchester United. That Mason Mount has told Chelsea fans a move to Manchester United is what his career needs at this time. Now, the England international addressed supporters in a social media video on Tuesday. Mount has agreed a transfer to United on a 5-year contract for £55 million, plus £5 million in add-ons. Now, the midfielder joined Chelsea at the age of 6, and he realizes some Blues fans will not be pleased with his move. Mount also thanked Chelsea Academy, the backroom staff, previous teammates, and managers he worked under since making his senior debut. Frank Lampard, Thomas Tuchel, and Graham Potter. Chelsea rejected United's first three bids for Mount before an agreement was finally reached. And that's where we end Sports Review for this morning.